I'd like to introduce our first guest. His name is Andy McGill. Some of you out there may know him. I think he might be one of the most highlighted or vocal kicker fans that there is. Hey, Andy, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, Kip. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for joining us this evening. I hope that you're up for the next 90 minutes. I think it's going to be fun. We got a lot of great questions. Hopefully we can take some great questions from out the audience. But, you know, all joking aside, you really have kind of become what I would call the epitome of a kicker fan. I mean, you do a lot of things out there, and you're definitely focused around kicker as your choice for products in your automobile.
I enjoy repping the equipment, and it's all quality stuff, you know, and I enjoy it, and I've been doing it for at least a decade now, just kicker in general. So love the stuff, you know, why not?
Well, I mean that in a fun way, man. Thankfully, I've had the opportunity to actually meet you in person. It was at Slamology 2 years ago?
Yes, 2 years ago, 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Rainology.
Right? Not kicker's fault. The rain was on its own.
Yeah.
And then something that, you know, I'm going to do this because it's just fun to tease people, but you're also part of a little special group that's signed an NDA, and you actually know things about product that's coming down the pike, do you not?
Don't know nothing. Don't know what you're talking about. Yes.
I don't. But you are definitely one of those fans who loves the product, and we love having you on board. We love being able to ask you questions and everything about future products that are coming and everything. So thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to go over a few more things. I mean, we're going to go over what you're doing socially, the things that you've done. Also, we want to talk about your build that you call affectionately the Cookie Monster, and we'll get into why you call it Cookie Monster here in just a minute. So I wanted you to join us tonight, Robert, but beside the fact that you're a great guy and we love having you on the show, but we're going to talk with Andy, and I figured you might have a lot of great questions that you might want to ask because you do this on a weekly basis where you are really good at coming up with questions to ask people. But Andy is what I like to probably call a super fan. He is definitely someone who likes the kicker brand. He likes the products, and he's got a build. He started a couple of his own social channels on YouTube and on Facebook. And so I thought we'd kind of talk about those things, and you might have some questions to ask him to help pull out of him just who he is and why he does what he does.
Yeah, for sure, man. He's definitely a kicker super fan. There's no doubt about it. Anybody that knows Andy knows that he is out here repping kicker, and he's ready to embarrass you with some kicker product when you want to step up and say something about it.
Oh yes, for sure.
So, Andy, something that's got a little bit of attention here lately, you did a video, and I'm going to give Ernie a second here so he can cue it up, but you did a video where you've got kind of a creative way to remove snow from your car?
Yeah, it actually works pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's the best method, but it's an awesome method. Just pure base alone, no shovels or anything else needed.
Well, Ernie, I'm just going to, when you get that video, Ernie, go ahead and cue it up and put it up on the screen so we can talk about it. But it's got a lot of attention. Obviously, ready? We got some notification on it that you post it. You guys can tag us when you do cool things like this. And so tell us what's going on here, Andy.
Yeah, well, that was about 16 hertz. The wind from the system itself blew the snow out of the window. It wasn't as explosive as I thought it was going to be. But when you play that low, it's just, it's a different type of bass. It really is. But it moved the snow, which was cool. As you can see, I had to speed it up here. I was trying to go easy on it because I like my coils. I like my suspension in one piece. And then, I turned the gain up a little bit here. And that's when it started really coming off pretty good there. But that was about 6 to 8 inches of snow. I haven't done that in 3-4 years. And that was with maybe a 1/4 inch of snow, the light stuff. And that was pretty cool. It came off nice. This time I'm like, well, I got a bigger system, more snow. Let's hope for the best.
Well, it's definitely, it's a fun thing to watch that you're using, bass frequencies to clear the snow off your vehicle. And I know when you posted that, a lot of people start chiming in. They do the same thing. Some people in here have even said the same thing. But it's obviously fun. And you said you're doing that at, you say 16 or 17 hertz?
17 hertz. It can play down to about 13, where you can actually feel the wind. You can actually hear it. It makes an audible sound. Yeah, that's 17 right there.
So, Andy, I know what you've got in your vehicle, and back me up on this if I'm wrong, be sure to tell me, but you've got a single old school Solo X18 in there, if I'm not incorrect. Is that true?
Yes. The black 2008 edition, I want to say, because the first was 2003, with the KXA 2400.1, just wired at 1 ohm, high output alternator, 270 from Ohio Gen. and soon to be 2 JYHP40s in the back with a battery delete in front. It's a little excessive, but bigger things to come, and you can never have too good of an electrical system.
You know, we've been asked ever since we did the original Unmasked Live. Of course, people always want to know what new product's coming. And, you know, the new L7X that's coming, we're only doing that in a 10, a 12, and a 15. But you, along with a lot of other people, have asked the question, well, what about an 18?
Yeah, I could definitely retire one of these if one would come out. That would be nice, you know, hanging on a wall.
Well, you know, we listen to feedback, and when it's really good feedback and there's a lot of it, you know, we don't ignore it. And we love getting that from you guys here through this channel. So if everyone else agrees that you'd like to see an 18, you know, comment section, social@kicker.com is how you can reach out directly to us. Let us know what you think. I know Andy, just because he's running an old school Solo X18 in his car, would love to have a new L7 X18, but we need to see if we can do that for you, Andy.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. 215s would be nice, but I don't know. It's not the same. I like that one sub factor. I really do.
You like that?
Now.
You like that single sub? It's
Yes.
really it's an impressive build. I actually got a chance to hear that. And I know you have you redone that build since Slamology when I met you there?
Yeah, that was a small box that actually fit behind the back seat, the one you heard. It played decently low, 30 hertz, but you know, it's not as low as this one does. I wanted the hair tricks. That's what I went for. And I was like, well, I don't need the back seat anymore. I got I had the Volvo at the time, you know, for a family daily car. And I was like, well, I don't want to build a wall. You know, you can get loud on a wall if you know what you're doing and you have enough power. I didn't have that much power. So I'm like, well, let me just build as big as I can, play as low as I can, and see if I can do some hair tricks. I know this thing's got some X-Max, got, you know, 1 inch up and down. It's decent. And that's what I wanted to do. And I was shooting for a 50, but I was like, you know what? I want to do hair tricks. I think that's so cool. You know, it's different, especially from one sub. You know, they see that. They're like, wow, that's impressive.
It is impressive. And you know, I'm sure you have, because you also, and I'm trying to remember the name, but I apologize, but don't you run your own competitions during the all year round, basically, where you have guys come out and compete and do measurements? So obviously you're familiar with measuring SPL and doing all that. Yeah,
from that alone, I learned so much just from testing other people's systems, seeing different designs, orientations, and having my own meter. For the fact I wouldn't have had $1,000 to go buy an SPL meter, but running these competitions, it was able to pay for itself, and I learned along the way. Yeah, that's Team SP Loud. I've had that since 2016. We started in a parking lot. And, of course, the first show, we got shut down. We were shaking liquor bottles across the way. It was bad. So 4 locations later, we found a nice home for 2.5 years now. So it's fun. Definitely is.
So you obviously got into it, a hobbyist, enthusiast. You're having fun at it, Robert. And so I'm kind of guessing, Andy, is that the same thing that kind of got you pulled into this? I mean, what was your first system, and what got you into wanting to do more on the social side?
Yeah, the social side, I would say that's more 3-4 years ago when I started the Team SP Loud. That's more for that. But audio itself, I mean, I started with boom boxes as a kid. 6 years old, had my first boom box, and it just went from there to house speakers, like, you know, the shelf ones, and wiring them all together till it worked. You know, I learned what series was before I knew what it was. You know what I mean? So, and then as soon as I got a car, I got my first system, which was a real small Target system when Target used to sell audio. It was a Lightning audio with a Jensen, like 232 channel, something like that. And that worked for about a few months to a year. And then my mom bought me my first nice system from Best Buy when I was 16 and a half, 17 years old. It was just the first louder system, the duals with the plexi, with the lights and everything.
Oh yeah.
That was loud then. But, you know, 2007, man, people were doing what they're doing today, but not as much. And it's really starting to grow recently. The past, I would say 5-6 years, it's really taken off, because 4 years ago, before I was really into social media, you didn't know it existed unless you knew a guy. You know, I was the loudest in town. I thought I was doing a 40. You know, that sounded loud to me.
Well, between you and me, I mean, for myself on a daily drive, 140, 145 for me, that's all I need in a daily driver. And that's when I would be in fun mode for myself.
Right.
You know, it's kind of funny. There seems to be a little bit of a loss of respect for SPL numbers, because there are guys out there that crack the 150 mark, the 160 mark, the 170 mark. And so people kind of lose, they're chasing the numbers and they want to keep seeing bigger and bigger numbers. But man, 140, 150 dB is nothing to sneeze at, no pun intended. I mean, that's loud.
It's enough to shake your eyeballs. I know that.
Yeah.
I know it distorts my vision.
Anything over 135 is pretty intense for me. I'm a bit of an old man when it comes to heavy bass.
135 is pushing it. Come on, Ron. Come
on. Back to you, Andy, and Ernie, if you will, find the video of the build of Andy's car, and when you get that, just go ahead and roll it in place of me when you get a chance. Just whenever you get a chance, just roll that through there. But Andy, obviously, this is you call it the Cookie Monster. Why Cookie Monster? Was he like your childhood hero? Do you like cookies? I mean, what's the deal here?
I mean, I liked blue. It's my favorite color. And I thought shag was pretty cool. And you didn't see that in too many builds. At least I didn't at the time. 2017, I think I did the first Cookie Monster, that box right there. Now, the name, Bill Braun actually came up with, your social media guy from Kicker. Very good friend of mine. He's the one that actually came up with the name. I was like, you know what? I like that. I really like that. I didn't have a name for it. I didn't name it. And what other better way for the people that, run Kicker and own Kicker, work for Kicker, to name your build? And it just stuck, Solo X18, Cookie Monster, Blue Shag, it's Andy McGill.
Well, I do know that, whenever I think of blue shag carpet, or I hear the word cookie or monster or both of them together, any of those three, I do think Andy McGill. You've definitely made that your signature color and your signature calling on that. And obviously, these are photos of, you said when you pulled out the smaller box, this is actually the larger box build that you went ahead and did, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah, me and my friend Tony McCartney put this together. I'm learning. I'm better. I can build some decent boxes. The past few that I've posted up, I actually cut and did myself. But this one is my friend Tony McCartney. He's an excellent carpenter. And this was about 2 years ago, not even, when we did this, year and a half. And it was about a 2 to 3 month process, on your weekends, 8-hour days, 2 days on the weekend for 3 months. And it took a while to make everything right, because we had to start from scratch. We had to build the floor, and I wanted it to be decent. I wanted everything to look good. I didn't want to just slap it together and be like, oh, well, why is my box shaking? Why does this not look the way I want it to look? And I had to rewire everything. I mean, that's not too hard, but in a little tiny car, it's tough. You don't think about the stuff till you do it, and you're like, I got to do all this. And then, as you can see, the port there, we actually built braces. So it's technically an interchangeable port, but it's not anymore. As you can see there, we put braces from the front to back because we were actually preventing from any kind of vibration, because there was no room for error between the boxes, from the top of the box to the bottom of the box, for the because those ports do vibrate. Over a certain distance, you lose your strength, things start to move. You don't want to hear that. So we did that to help with that, and then we kind of sandwiched everything in. It's a very stout box. It doesn't just look good on the outside; it looks good on the inside too. But it was definitely a fun process. Go ahead.
Stormy Young, if you can obviously hear me, you say you can't read it. To enter the contest, you're going to go to http kicker.fun/swag time. And actually, I'm going to ask Jeremy, if you'll bring up the lower third for that, because what she's saying is what's scrolling across the screen right now is actually cut off and she can't see it. So if you'll bring up, thank you, sir. So right there, leave that up for just a little bit. So that is the link right there for the contest. Like I said, http kicker.fun/swag time. And we just ask you for a few pieces of information. You hit the enter button, boom, you're good to go. We will shut that contest down right at 8:30. Bill, our social guy, will work his way through Gleam and hopefully pull us some lucky winners. And we're going to announce those people right at the end of the show. So that's the link for that. Hopefully that helps you out, Stormy, and you can see that right there. And maybe we can get Bill to repost that into the comment section as well. That way everybody can see that. So sorry to interrupt you there, Andy. I just wanted to touch on that.
You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, I want to give credit where credit's due. Kayla Klein, my girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, she did all the shagging in the vehicle. So I can't take credit for that. that was very tough to do.
Andy, there's so many ways to take that statement. We're going to take it the right way and not the wrong one.
Yeah. Come on, Kip. You could see my son Bryson loved it too. Yeah, oh man, his hair grew so much since now. That's crazy since then. But
I've seen you post pictures of him, and he does love sitting in front of that port, doesn't he?
Oh yes, he likes bass. All my kids do, even my daughter Aaliyah too. Yeah, she's a little bass head. She was actually the first one where I sent the picture to Bill. I didn't know who Bill was at the time, but I sent the picture of her with the doing wear hearing protection, and she was standing in front of the kicker, and that was when we first built the first box. That was a long time ago.
Man, you spent a lot of time shooting some pics or video here to put this all together. It's very detailed, showing what you got going on here.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to document everything in my life, and this was something important too. Just how I am. Thank you. As you can see, Caleb.
Sure. And so while this is running, you did the new box. And your new box versus the old box, obviously you changed the size of the box, you changed the tuning, which is what you were looking for. What did you gain or give up? What was the difference between going from your old enclosure to this new one that you redesigned?
Across the board, 5 dBs. The first one that you heard was doing like a 145 to a 146 in the kick, a 145 at the headrest. This one does a 150.3 in the kick and a 149.4 at the headrest, and that's a 32 hertz. Which is pretty low, yeah. And that's still under 2,000 watts clamping in both enclosures. The first enclosure was about 1,400 watts. I did gain a little bit of power, efficiency, rise, all that fun stuff. But it's just a bigger box. It's just easier to be louder with a bigger enclosure, and you can't go crazy on the port. It looks big, but it's not as big as it really is compared to the enclosure.
You talk about that. So you say you're clamping about 2,000 watts. So you're probably sitting where, around 3 ohms, 4 ohms as far as your frequency then?
Yep, 3.2. Yeah. I'm rising at, yes. Yep. And that was last time I clamped, I was dropping down to 12.3. So those amps, they do the same power at 12 and 14 volts. It's better to have good voltage, but if you don't, they work.
Well, that is something you said in the beginning. You were using a KXA 2400.1 to power that. And a lot of people out there may or may not know, but that amplifier is, I'll use the word loosely regulated because, you have to draw a line on where you stop doing that. But basically that amplifier will make power at 14.4. It'll make power all the way down to right about 11 volts. And it'll make that same rated 2400 watts. And because what it will do is if the voltage starts falling off, it'll just start pulling more current to make up the difference. Now, to do that, it kind of goes into hand what you were just saying is you have to have some good electrical. You've got to have some great battery backup because when it wants to pull that extra current to make up for lower voltage, if you don't have it, it can't do it. And of course, the protection circuit will prevent it from doing that if you don't have it. But as you noticed, it does consistent power through the entire operating range that you would have in a normal operating vehicle.
Exactly.
Yeah, people, that's very underrated. I actually like regulated power supplies. People don't like to see it on the amp test because it's more efficient, especially when you're doing a sine wave. It's more inefficient when you're doing a sine wave test. But me personally, like in vehicle, I like regulated power supplies.
I got to call out the notorious RVH. He just said, we don't play under 40 hertz. There's no way you're playing that frequency, Andy. We can't do it. Come on.
Nope. All wasted information.
That sounds like fake news to me.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's like a chip on my shoulder. It really is, with that and everything. It's like, well, watch this.
Well, you talk about a chip on your shoulder. There's been a couple interesting videos that have been out recently, and you did one of them on your Livin Loud with Andy, so I'm going to kind of step into that realm, where you actually took a Comp 10, and I use the word not in a bad way, but I think you call it the Walmart woofer, which it's the C10 we sell at Walmart, and you did some power testing, output testing on that, and frequency, and that woofer is no slouch at all.
Not at all. It took overrated musically down to 27 hertz up to 54 hertz. I would say a solid 200 watts continuous for 3 minutes. And the coil wasn't warm. There was no mechanical failure. It's not drastically overrated or underrated like some other subs can be, where you just need to give it more power. This one does relatively well on low power, and you can give it some more if you have it.
Absolutely. Best I can tell you is stay tuned to the show, watch our feeds on our social. You'll know what's coming, and we will definitely keep you informed on the new products coming. But if we're coming out with a new L7X and it's going to need some power, it kind of makes sense that we'd have an amp to go with it, maybe?
Be nice. Definitely.
I think I need to patent the wink wink. So
Warhorse 2.0. Let's see you, baby.
There you go, Warhorse 2.0. You never know what's coming. So, Andy, I want to kind of go back. You've started this Livin Loud with Andy McGill. Tell me a little bit about that. And aren't you streaming that live on your channel tonight?
Yes, this is live on that channel and your Kicker channel here and Facebook, of course, which is awesome, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, I started the YouTube channel mainly with the Livin Loud because what do? I'm always living loud with Kicker stuff. Might as well film it and put it all together and make a YouTube channel. And I'm not looking to make a hobby out, or not a hobby, but a job out of it, because then sometimes you lose, the fun part about it. I like it as a hobby, and I don't know. It's just I like helping people, bottom line, and I like to make videos fun yet informational, if that makes sense, rather than just one or the other, because that's how some YouTubes are. They're just really funny or whatnot, or they're very informational, and it's like falling asleep. Good stuff, but you got to keep it happy medium. But it was actually Kayla's idea. She's the one who pushed me. She's like, "Why don't you do a YouTube instead of this Facebook stuff and do a YouTube?" And I was like, "Well, if you can help me with the kids, no problem," because it's tough. Not gonna lie.
To tie into that, and I'm sure Robert's probably got some great advice to add to this. I watch, for me, even being the age I am, which I consider myself an old dude now, but that's okay because old dudes rule. But when you look at how things have transitioned, I find even myself, I watch more and more YouTube content, and I'm not interested in what people call mainstream media or mainstream TV anymore. And it's because I want to watch what I want to watch about when I want to watch it. And I'm probably not that I'm trying to, but get some shout outs. I mean, I watch a lot of stuff. I participate and go and watch, obviously, what Robert's doing, what Big D does. There's other channels that I go and watch. Toids has been added to my list now that I experienced him. I didn't even know who he was, and I experienced him through Robert's channel. So now he's in my playlist, so I can go watch his stuff. Actually, the first one I went and watched on his was the polyfill video. So after that show with him, I went and watched that, which was pretty cool. But something I want to encourage you on, Andy, and this is a sincere compliment, is one of the channels I watch a lot is a guy called Project Farm. And it's a guy who just started doing these real life tests on anything that would appeal to a guy. I mean, he talks about oil and drills and you name it. He just does all this crazy, but it's real world testing to give you an idea. Like, which I just watched one recently, like which stubby impact driver does the best job, has the most torque. And he creates all these scientific tests to show that. And what's funny is I started watching him, a lot of his newer stuff, but then I went back and watched some of his older stuff. And you can definitely tell that he's matured over the years from where he first started to what he's doing today. And he has a huge following. So if anything, I would encourage you, even in the brief time I've watched you, your first videos can come sometimes from anybody. Can seem awkward, or you don't know where to go or what to say, but it's very easy to see that you're on that same path, that you're getting better and better at it. And I would encourage you, because I do see you out in the community, and when you say you want to help, that's no lie. You are definitely focused on wanting to help people. I've seen a couple guys who have not taken your advice. They felt like you were knocking them when you really weren't. You were just trying to help them. And to see someone like you who takes your own time to want to help people, no matter what product it is, and then you step out and want to do your own YouTube channel, I think that's a big step, and you deserve a big round of applause and congratulations for that.
Thank you so much, Kip. Thank you. That means a lot. It really does.
And I can add to that, because I don't always live in the basehead world, but I like, not personally, but I like seeing it, I like hearing it, I like feeling it. So I like going to Andy's channel to see that. Now, what's different about his is, a lot of channels have flex videos, and that gets repetitive, that gets old, but he's doing like I do. I like to test things. I like to see how this is work. I like to explain things. And he's doing a lot of that with the flex video. So we're having fun. And then also we're getting our vegetables as well.
Exactly. Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
So I mean that as a compliment. I mean that as a sincere compliment, Andy. So keep on keeping on doing what you're doing there, because I think there's some great things in store for you. And then to kind of touch on another thing that you start, I mean, I think I look at Robert, I know he's a busy man. I see what he does on a continual basis. And especially this last couple of weeks, he's been nonstop. You, on the other hand, have also had your own brand to keep him busy. You actually went out and started kind of your own group on Facebook called I think it's Kicker Club, or I don't know if I've got it right, but I joined it.
Yeah, you're right.
Too. And it took off like a rocket. I mean, you've got a lot of people subscribed to that in a very short time.
Thank you. Yeah, I just felt it was right. You know, why not? You know, and just keep it kicker, and let's have fun and have all the big name kicker guys in there, and we can all talk and all be civil, you know, and actually get answers when we need them. Because some groups, some groups get the wrong answers.
You know, it's very true about that, you know, and I'm at the point where it's actually, I go out and find the memes. I look at them. I think they're pretty funny now. But, you know, we had one trainer who, it was his first CES, his first time on camera. He's kind of nervous. And of course, we all know the infamous below 40 hertz thing. It's going to live forever. I think it's a hoot. But as you know, Andy, and anyone who's experienced our products, they all play very well below 40 hertz. I mean, it's not like we make products that stop at 40 hertz. They definitely plumb down into the lower frequencies, no problem at all. And it is nice having a kicker-centric group that's championed by someone like you who has a genuine desire to help people. So when they ask a question, the first knee-jerk reaction they get isn't just some smarty meme because they want to, and that's, you know, one of the big ones is the below 40 hertz one. You have a genuine desire to want to help these people get the most out of whatever they're using, whether it's kicker or not. But obviously that group you started is intended to be kicker focused. But I know you, it doesn't matter what people would ask about, you'd be there to help them.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. And I love helping people. I really do. And I wish I had somebody to help me whenever I first started out. I had to learn the hard way. And with social media and internet, it definitely helped, but I didn't have someone whispering in my ear, hey, you got to do this. Hey, you got to do that. I had to learn it the hard way. And it's like, I want to help somebody so that they don't have to waste their time. And I'll teach them, not just show them the answer, but I'll teach them how to get to that answer as well. So they're not learning anything.
You know, I'm going to call this out real quick. Go ahead, Robert. What are you going to say?
I was going to say a little known fact about Andy is he is the meme king. If you guys haven't seen, this dude puts out the best memes in car audio, hands down, and he spares nobody, kicker included.
You're right.
He's out there. He gives them one of these, and he gives them another one of these, and you know he's in it. He's in it for the long haul when it comes to McGill memes. That's for certain.
Heck yeah.
So Andy, what's on your roadmap for plans now? You've got the Livin Loud with Andy McGill, which is your YouTube channel. You've got the Kicker Club you started on Facebook. What's on your plate? Has all this just been kind of by the seat of your pants, or do you have a plan?
Never have a full plan, but take it one step at a time, day by day. I mean, with the build, as you can see, I have the sub out right now. I'm going to pull everything out, rewire everything, probably throw in some fresh wire, check all the connections, grounds, etc., and throw my lithium in. And then we're going to go from there for now. And then we'll see what comes up in the next couple quarters of next year. Hopefully everything goes to plan. You know, due to everything going on, you don't know. But we'll see. Stay tuned. Some big things coming. I'll say that.
That's good to hear. And then Andy McGill, mean it, brother. You are definitely a Kicker super fan. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule and joining us. You're doing some great things. I love to see you out helping the community, whether it's Kicker product or not. It's just nice that you have a heart and a generosity that you want to go out and help people make sure they're doing the right thing. You're doing great things, brother. Shout out. You have anything you want to add as far as your channels or some to the people who are watching?
Yeah, my YouTube channel, Livin Loud with Andy, pretty easy to find. But I just want to say thank you for having me on tonight. This is groundbreaking. This is awesome. Truly a blessing. And I love the Kicker brand. I love the Kicker family, the people that work for you, if you want to call it work. I just love everything about it. I really do. And just keep doing what you're doing.
Andy, I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. So with that said, I want to give a sincere thanks to Robert Hi-Fi Vega for joining us tonight. Andy McGill, thank you for spending some time with us. It's been great. I hope everyone who's tuned in enjoyed what we had to offer. I hope you like the new 2021 lineup. Again, Sandy said that stuff should be up by the end of the year. So if you want any of this new stuff, it should be up sometime, hoping end of year, first of the year.
Yes, absolutely. They're
You can
working
see
on
this.
it now.
And hopefully you enjoyed the giveaways, and, kind of reach out to us at social@kicker.com or on Facebook or Instagram. Let us know how you feel. If you like these small giveaways that we're doing at each show, let us know. Feedback is what drives what we're going to do here, because at the end of the day, folks, we're really doing this for you guys. We have fun doing it. It's a lot of work, but we really do enjoy it. So from myself, Sandy, Tim, Bill, Jeremy, and Ernie, who are back behind the panel, and every employee here at Stillwater Designs Kicker, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We look forward to seeing you at the next show, which will be Tuesday, January 5th, at the new year, 2021. Let's all have fun. Let's all be good and kind to each other. Have a good one. Thanks, folks.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
See you later.